viewer, thank you so much for joining us. Today we are in Kiambu County, Lari constituency, where we are privileged and honored to be joined and to be at the eWest Academy and the eWest Initiative, joined by the director and the founder, Mr.Thuo. Thank you so much, Mr. Thuo, for having us. Did you know that there are so many opportunities in the eWest management space? I did not know that. And you who is watching us, I would like you to get, we have a challenge of e-waste management in our country, but Mr. Thuo and his institution, they are providing a solution for managing e-waste. By e-waste, we mean electronic waste. I know for sure, the viewer, in your home, you either have a phone, a fridge, a microwave, and all these in totality, it actually adds up to the e-waste that we have in our country. What can you do about it? I would like you to be keen, follow us, ask us how you can be able to participate. My name is Rose Gishure. This is the EnviroCare Global Show, coming to you from EnviroCare Media Services. Thank you so much, Mr. Thuo, for having us.
Karibuni sana. This is eWest Technical Academy. Like Rosa said, we are based in Limuru, in a small village called Getithia.
Okay.
So my name's Lawrence Mr.Thuo, the founder and director of eWest Initiative Kenya. eWest Initiative Kenya is a one-stop shop on eWest management processes. Mm-hmm. We run a collection center in Nairobi. We have different partners in Kenya, in many counties, and where we are seated right now is a technical school where we are training on eWaste management processes, end-to-end processes. Here at eWaste, we train you how to handle eWaste from collection, segregation, packaging, repair, refurbishment, part and component recovery, and even how to make some money out of it. Mm-hmm. This is a very good opportunity for you, viewer. If you are a young person, we do trainings. It's a 3-month training for those who have been in the industry or those who can grab a concept very quickly. Mm-hmm. The maximum time that we take is 6 months, and by the time you are leaving here, you can either set up your own shop, get employed in the industry or in the sector, or with people who are doing waste management, and particularly e-waste or ICT refurbishment. The other thing that we do is e-waste disposal. I started this sometimes back in 2005 as a hobby to collect a few items, play around with them and see whether I can come up with something. Okay. But the real job started in 2010. Okay.
That's 5 years later.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Each and every person have their successful phase and a phase where you trip a bit and then you get back on your feet. Mm-hmm. In 2008, 2009, I used to be a big supplier to the government, and there were a bit of delays which disrupted all my financial systems. Okay. And that is how I got myself full-time doing e-waste management. Okay. So I decided, instead of supporting clients who needed new equipment, to go back to my old ways. My basic knowledge is in radio, TV technician. Okay. So that is where I started, yes. Okay. Then I advanced a bit later in life at the Kenya Polytechnic. Back then it was called, but now is Technical University of Kenya. I did a bit of electronics and majored in telecommunications option.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much. You have told us that you chose e-waste because according to you, it's an area where no one needs to ask you the time you come to work, the money that you can make.
Yes.
Now, focusing on e-waste management, especially in Kenya, from when we now started having a lot of electronics coming in our country, how have we been able to manage it from your own outlook?
As a country, Kenya, we have very weird ways of managing waste.
Weird, yeah?
Yes, it is very weird because we hold on to things that we may never use, or we may never recover the original value that we had spent.
Okay.
If we go to e-waste, particularly apart from the other waste, when we hold these materials and don't release them, and they are with us for a bit of time, then we carelessly dispose them. And how do we do it? We mix it with the municipal waste without segregating at source, and allow the truck drivers who collect wet municipal waste to move away with it. If it goes when it is segregated and well packed, that's fine, because when you mix e-waste or electronic waste with water, it poses a lot of danger to the environment and the public health.
And that is exactly what is happening
Yes.
to our country, because if you go to, for example, a lot of resorts,
Yes.
in our own homes, we don't have different dustbins that are separating the electronic waste, the organic waste, and different kind of waste. We actually mix them together.
Rose, you don't have to use a lot of money to be able to segregate.
Yeah.
It is very simple.
Yes.
And awareness is something that is really required. And as an organization, we have taken it to the next level.
Yeah.
Because I will explain later how we do our awareness creation,
Okay.
and educating the public on how to do e-waste segregation and management, including disposal. So you need a bag, just the same bag that you use in your house to package the wet waste, or just a small box that you carry from the supermarket to put those electronics together. Then look for a person who is qualified. And nowadays we are many because we have trained over 5,000 in the country. Irrespective of where you are seated within the country, you can get an e-waste manager who can handle that waste for you in a proper manner.
Okay.
If you don't handle this e-waste safely, for instance, unaenda unachoma, or you throw it carelessly,
What we do?
it poses a very great danger to our environment in terms of air quality, waterways and water sources. We pollute them.
Yeah.
And the funniest part is that this water that you pollute will eventually find their way into the streams and the lake. So we contaminate marine life, we contaminate our plants, and this surely will come back to the tables. The same water is the water that we are drinking from the boreholes, or we are irrigating with. So it is very dangerous. The other downside of also improper disposal of e-waste is where people go and burn. It's a bad practice to burn electronic waste.
Yes.
That's why we are having climate change. Because also these heavy metals will mix with the air, go to and interfere with our ozone layer. That's why you are seeing a lot of changes in climatic conditions, drought and all this, even black rains and acidic rain.
Yes.
Why do they come? Because when you burn these electronic gadgets, these heavy metals still evaporate, and they contaminate the environment, including the air. They affect people. If you have seen the case of Mombasa, we used to have a lead acid battery company.
Yes.
Many people gave birth to children who had deformities.
Yes.
Mothers lost their kids when they were pregnant, untimely births. You also see many other effects for this habit. When we are doing our training, we are very specific on how to identify hazardous waste and non-hazardous waste and how to handle both.
Yeah.
Because even the one that is purported to be safe is not safe.
It's not safe.
It has some elements of toxic materials that are potentially also harmful to the environment and public health.
Let me bring you closer home, and I don't know whether you are privy to a research that was done. Initially, we're in Kiambu County.
Yes.
We never used to have hard water
Yes.
in Kiambu County.
Yes.
Right now, and
Yeah.
that is, it's science.
Yes.
We are now having or experiencing hard water in Kiambu County. What can you attribute this to? Because you see, it's good. I keep on saying knowledge is very, very powerful.
Yes, knowledge is power.
But powerful when put into use.
Yes.
And now because we have such research that is out,
Yes.
what is the source of this? Why are we having hard water? And what can we attribute this to? Good thing I'm at the e-waste expert himself.
Unfortunately, we live where we sow. The behaviors that we carry out today will eventually catch up with us tomorrow. So many of us who are using pit latrines or the old method of disposing their household waste or even factory waste, including chemicals,
Yes.
all of them have been directed to our pit latrines. And most of the pit latrines, you realize, you don't have to go to school to know that the water table is about 100 feet under or slightly above.
No,
So-
most people don't know that.
They don't know.
Yeah, just say it.
And
Yeah.
when you look at the development that have been happening lately, there are so many pit latrines because even the shambas are very small. There are plots of 50 by 100, the population is increasing, the appetite for consuming electronic is also high, the waste is also high. So once you put or throw your waste in your pit latrine, and there are many of you surrounding a certain area, and somebody wants to sink a borehole, you don't expect clean water. It's going to be hard water, and it is also going to be contaminated because that is our water table.
True.
And we have polluted it, so we can't expect to harvest clean water
Yeah.
from a polluted environment.
Wow. We have the rise of the electronic wastes.
Yes.
I can say maybe from the year 2010, between 2010 and the last 10 years, we've seen an increase or an upward trajectory of the electronic wastes. At the same time, as a layman, I can say for sure, I can see an upward trajectory of cancer.
Yes.
Not only to the the older population, but even the small or the children, we are all experiencing cancer. Would you relate this in any way?
There is a correlation with our lifestyles, appetite for consumption and production. If we are not careful with the way we are handling our lifestyle, then we might not end up having a planet for the future generations.